Hello IP students. Today our topic is Python NumPy array, or we can say that NumPy. As we know that Python is a programming language and NumPy is a library provided by Python for mathematical or scientific calculation. First thing, raise your own mind that what is an array. So basically array is a collection of homogeneous data elements. Homogeneous means similar data elements. And definition given here is an array is a structure, or we can say the data structure that contains a group of elements. Typically these elements are all of the same data type, such as integer or string. So when we declare an array, then all elements regarding to that array must have same data type, whether it is of integer type or it is of character type or string type. So array is generally refers to a named group of homogeneous, or we can say that similar data type element. And second thing is NumPy. What is NumPy and what is NumPy stands for? So NumPy stands for numerical Python. So it is a library. NumPy is a Python package, and we can also say that NumPy is a Python package, and it stands for numerical Python. Num for numerical and Py for Python. So it is a full form of NumPy. And NumPy array means NumPy array is simply a grid that contains value of the same or homogeneous data type. Second thing is, what are the different operations performed by NumPy arrays, or what is the use of NumPy array? NumPy array is basically used for mathematical and logical operations on array. First thing. Second point is operation related to linear algebra, and NumPy array has inbuilt functions for numerical linear algebra and random number generation. So NumPy is a library and it contains different functions which perform different tasks related to linear algebra as well as random number generations. And a simple NumPy array syntax. How can we use NumPy array? So first of all, just write import NumPy to use NumPy functions. Just write import NumPy. NumPy is the name of library, or you can use import NumPy as NP. So NP is the other name of NumPy. We can use NP in place of NumPy. So both options uh, will work. Either write just import NumPy, or just write import NumPy as NP. We can take another name, NP, SP, TP, ABC, whatever you want. But when once one you declare it as a name, as suppose that NP, then throughout the program it can work with a same name, that is NP. And we cannot use NumPy when we declare NumPy as NP. It means that when we use NP, it works for NumPy. It works in place of NumPy. So that is the difference between import NumPy and import NumPy as NP. So most of the program contain the first line related to numeric NumPy array, and that is import NumPy as NP. So we can say that NP is a synonym of NumPy. Next is types of NumPy array. There are basically two types of NumPy array. These are one-dimensional array and two-dimensional array. So there are the basic types of NumPy array, or more than two-dimensional array. It is also called multi-dimensional array. But as far as 12th syllabus of IP is concerned, there are only two types of there are only two types: one-dimensional and two-dimensional. And there are some terminology related to NumPy array. First one is axis. So what is axis? NumPy axis are the direction along the rows and the columns, just like coordinate system in mathematics. So NumPy array also have axis. In a two-dimensional NumPy array, the axes are the direction along the rows and the columns. Axis 0 represent rows and axis 1 represent column. If there is a single dimensional array, then there is only one axis called axis 0. And if there are two dimensional array or NumPy array, then there are two axes. Axis 0 represents rows and axis 1 represent columns. So axis 0 always represent rows, always represented by rows, and axis 1 always represented by columns. So there are two axes in a two-dimensional array. And for three-dimensional array, there is another axis called axis 2. Here is a diagram which define axis, that is one-dimensional axis. First diagram related to one-dimensional axis, second related to two-dimensional axis, and third one is multi-dimensional array, which is represented by a 3D array. So in NumPy array is called axis 0. In NumPy column is called axis1, and in NumPy depth is called axis2. So this is the diagram which explain axis in NumPy. Next is rank. The rank of ND array tells about how many axes does it have. For example, if we have two-dimensional array, then rank is 2. If one-dimensional array, if there is one-dimensional array, then rank is 1, and if a three-dimensional array, rank is 3. So in other words, we can say that the number of axes in ND array is called its rank. And second thing is shape. The shape of an ND array is a tuple of integers giving the size of array along each dimension. Here tuple is a data type used in Python, so shape is always represented in form of tuple. For example, tuple is always represented with a sign of parenthesis. So when we write 2 comma 3 within the parenthesis, then it means there are 2 rows and 3 columns, and it is also the shape of that array. And this is the diagram. There is a array named X, and its shape is 1 because there is only one dimension. And when we reshape it using reshape function, then its shape is 3 comma 2. Next is Python NumPy array data type. Data type, there are different data types used in NumPy array, and which related to integers, float value, complex value. So for float value it is int 8, int 16, int 32, int 64, int uint uh, 8, etc. For float it is float 16, float 32, float 64. For complex it is complex 64 or complex 128. For boolean value it is bool 8, and default size of float value is float 64. One thing is very important. Then if we want to use directly the data type, then just write first np refers here for NumPy, or just write NumPy and dot int 8, so it represents the data type. So all data types are represented through np. So np dot int 8 means np is a np is NumPy, and int 8 is a data type of NumPy. Next is item size. The item size, or the data type and the item size, are related to each other. The item size as per the data type int 16, it means that 16-bit integer, the item size is 2 bytes, and as we know that 1 byte equal to 8 bit. So item size is directly related to the data type. So if you want to know that what is the item size of particular data type, so we can use the item size function of np. Next is a program which perform the basic operation used in a NumPy. Here there are few things or few data types. First one is a list. A list is basically a mutable data type in which data items are changed. And there is a very important question, that what is the difference between a list and a array. So basically a NumPy array is a type of list which is immutable, means that once we declare a size of that particular array, it cannot be changed, it cannot be resized, but the size of list can be changed. And second thing is tuple. Second, tuple is basically similar to list, but it represented through parenthesis sign, and it is immutable. It means its size cannot be changed, so its data value cannot be changed. And third, we very well known, string is a set of characters and always represented within double quote sign. So there is a basic program related to Python NumPy. First line is import NumPy as NV, which is important part. Whenever we want to use NumPy, just write import NumPy. So first thing is which we have to do is import that library, and library name is NumPy, and there is a synonym named np. So throughout the program, if we want to access a function related to the library, which is NumPy in this case, just write np dot function name. So first thing is import dot NumPy as np. Import of course is a keyword which import a particular library, and here a library is NumPy. Here we use Python Anaconda version, so in which different NumPy or Matplotlib different libraries are already given, and in basic version these are not present. So for this, if you want to execute that programs related to Python NumPy, so first of all just install Anaconda version of Python in your computer system. So first thing is just write a list or declare a list, and the element of list are 1, 5.2, 9.8 and 23. Here the important point is list contain different types of data, int or float type of data. And then we declare the tuple is always declared within parenthesis sign, and list is always declared with a symbol of large bracket, and their symbols are, and their numbers of tuples are 2, 4, 10, 20. And then we declared a string. So string is equal to APS Varanasi. APS Varanasi is a string. And then if you want to use NumPy array, there is a function named array, ARRAY array, and in parenthesis, if we, or in as an argument, if we declare a list or a tuple or a string, then np convert it into and NumPy array. So first thing is a1 is equal to np dot array list. So what happens actually here is that list is a list and it contains some elements, and when we passed is as an argument in array function, it convert into a NumPy array. So just we use np dot array list. Here NumPy is library represented by np, so just use np dot array list. In similar manner we can use np dot array tuple, or a3 is equal to np dot array string. So upper three values, list, tuple and string, all these three values can be converted using array function in NumPy array. And fourth one is a4 np dot array list and data type np dot float 16. Actually it convert all the data elements of list into float 16 data type. And next statement is print statement which represent list. So just we write print list is, so list is printed as it is on, as it is as given in this statement, and then we print list, and then we print a statement 1D array using array, and then print a1. Actually what happens here that we print both list as well as conversion of list after uh, array function, after implementation through array function. So both two operations are represented or printed using print statement. Next is Python tuple is, so print tuple and then print NumPy array and print string, and then after print NumPy array a3. So a1, a2, a3, a4, for all four NumPy array will be printed. And after that if we want to print type of ND array, just we want to know that what is the data type or type of elements of NumPy and ND array, then we use a function type, and in parenthesis sign we pass out, we pass the value of NumPy array, which is a1 in that case. If you want to find out the data type, just write a1 dot d type is written here. It means that a1 is a NumPy array, and if you want to find out the data type of that NumPy array, then write a1 dot d type. And if you want to find out the item size, then just write a1 dot item size. And if you want to find out the particular element at particular position, then write the position first in bracket, and before this write a NumPy array name, which is a1 in that case. So just write a1 0, a1 3. It means a1 0 represent first element and a1 3 represent fourth element, because counting start from 0 element. Always remember that counting is counting of or numbering of data items is always started with 0. So first element is reflected at position 0 and second is at position 1 and up to so on. So this is a basic program. Let us check what is the output of that polling program. So first thing is list is, so list is printed and the element of list is already declared. So when we print list, so element of list um, will be printed, 1, 5.2, 9.8 and 23. But when we convert this list into nd array and print nd array, then element are 1 dot 5.2 9.8 and 23 point. Here we notice that there are two main difference between a list and nd array. First thing is there is a no comma sign as far as representation is concerned, and second point is there is a dot sign. So all values are represented using float, or all are float values, and in list there are integer as well as float values. So what happens here, that as we know that numpy array is a collection of homogeneous data elements, so all data elements are of same type. So in that case all elements of numpy array are of float type, so all values are converted to float. Conversion always happens from lower to higher, and since int is considered as a lower data type and float is considered as a higher data type, so all integer data type is converted to higher data type, that is float in this case. And second thing is, second value is print is a tuple. So tuple is 2 4 10 comma 20, and when we convert it into numpy, so value is 2 4 10 20. One thing here, all data items are of same type, so there is no conversion at all, and of course they are not separated with a comma sign as in tuple or a list. And third is string. So string is APS Varanasi, and after conversion list is APS Varanasi is printed. Next is numpy array of float data type. So here we intentionally convert it into float 16 data type, so all data values are converted to float 16 of data type. And next is type of A1 nd array. So here type, if you want to know the type, what is the type of nd array, then this statement will be printed. Type of A1 nd array is equal to type numpy dot nd array. It means that it is a type of numpy. And if you want to know the data type, then we use data type, and data type is printed as float 16. And if you want to know item size is printed, item size is 8. And last thing is, if you want to know the first element and the fourth element, sorry, fifth element I think, then it is 1 and 23 in that case. Let us check again it using a program. Here data type of a1 nd array is a1 dot d type, and a1 dot item size represent item size of that, and a10 represent first element and a13 represent fourth element. So I think there is a mistake in last line. Let us check. Actually it is fourth element. Third a3 represent for third element. So because this is a statement, so Python statement, or write within a double quotes, so it printed as it is as you write. So here first and fifth element of a1 are printed as it is, but actually it represents the fourth element. So a23.0 is the fourth element. So I think it is now numpy concept is little bit clear to all of you. In next video we will discuss some other numpy function. Thank you for watching this video.